Hello, Granny. Today is going to be an interview regarding the economic climate in our country. So, I have some questions for you because I feel like you are the authority on economic downturns because you grew up in the Depression. So, how do you feel people today are handling this economic downturn, and how do you think that differs from how people in the Depression handled the economic downturn?
Okay, first of all, I need to let you know that I was born during the Depression.
Well,
And
but you existed during the
yeah,
Depression.
and I grew up, my first awareness was about 1940, and by that time the Depression was over. So what I know about the Depression is what I have heard. It was a terrible time. There were no jobs. People stood in line for government food assistance. It was a terrible time. Nothing like today. People think this is so terrible today. They have no idea what it was like. I think what's happening is the end result of people spending money that they didn't have to spend, thereby racking up massive credit card debt, paying too much for houses that they shouldn't have been living in because they really couldn't afford to live in the house as expensive as they got set up in. So it's basically a situation where people overextended themselves financially, and now the party's over and the piper must be paid, and so people are going to have to do without a lot of the stuff that they want. They still are getting what they need, but they're going to have to do without what they want, which is what got them in this mess in the first place.
How could you say people could be happier living with less? Could you give people some advice on how to be happy with less?
Well, stuff never makes anybody happy. The act of going out and spending money for stuff that people really don't need is not satisfying. It's not a satisfying experience to buy something that you don't really need. What was the question again?
How should people be happy living with less?
Realizing they need to come to the realization that stuff isn't going to make them happy, that just stopping and smelling the roses is going to be a heck of a lot more satisfying than going out and buying stuff. And acquiring stuff is kind of like the little chimpanzee in a psychological study that was done one time. If she performed a certain task, she got a little coin that she could use to get herself extra food. And so she started hoarding her little tokens because she knew she could get more food with them. But she was an animal without a rational mind. We're rational people, and we should use our intelligence and not behave like the lower primates, collecting their tokens and then wondering why they're not happy.
How do you feel modern television and what is shown on modern television is affecting how kids are brought up these days?
What's shown on modern television is a bunch of smart-mouth, bratty little jerks that think that the sun rises and sets just for them and that they're supposed to have everything, and the grown-ups can just do without. That's one aspect of television. Another aspect of television is if you don't like somebody, shoot them. And a third aspect of modern television is whatever you do, go out and get as much sex as you possibly can, preferably without any sense of responsibility towards yourself or other people.
I agree. How do you feel about the Kardashians?
Oh, God. Oh, that's how I feel about the Kardashians.
Okay, Granny. Is that all you feel about the Kardashians?
I feel a sense of sadness in regarding the Kardashians because they haven't got a clue that their lifestyle is so pointless and empty. I mean, where do they think they are going to spend eternity? They think God is Santa Claus and he's just going to let them in after the lives they've led?
The great shopping mall in the sky?
Yeah, right.
Okay, Granny, thank you so much for your time. I've appreciated your thoughts. And
And if you put that on YouTube, I'll kill you.